Narcissistic victims often hear, if the abuse was that bad, why didn't we leave? Hi, I'm Dr. Kerry McAvoy, and here's where I talk about everything related to healthy relationships. So why don't victims of emotional and physical abuse leave? It's because of a trauma bond. Research has found that there is strategies and tactics that are used that can be very compelling and create actually a physical bond with another person. When you first meet someone who is toxic, like a narcissistic abuse setup, they begin to do what's called love bombing. And that's another way of saying there's this intense period of time in which there's a lot of eye gazing, there's a lot of physical contact, it's very intense over top. There's a lot of emotional reciprocity, like giving of gifts and showing of extreme affection. You have this person's undivided attention. Think about how often that actually happens in your life. Outside of going and seeing someone for therapy, it's rare for you to have someone so exclusively focused on you. Cult leaders use that. It's one way to increase trust while lowering someone's susceptibility and guard. So this phase of love bombing sort of sets the precedence for the relationship. When someone does this, you think you've met your soulmate. But there's another really key element that makes it particularly seductive, and that is the giving and withholding of affection and attention. Love bombers or toxic people use a technique called intermittent reinforcement. Love and attention is used or withheld as a form of manipulation. You have to earn someone's attention and love, and if you misbehave or do something that displeases them, they retreat, withdraw, use silence or disappearances as a way to let you know that you have displeased them. This creates a powerful bind for a person because you want the love bombing back, so you work even harder to show up in a way in which makes sure that the person stays connected with you. There's a lot that's happening behind the scene in the brain. The brain begins to initially excrete dopamine whenever you get their attention, whenever you see their text message and you hear from them. And then you begin to also then excrete two hormones, oxytocin and vasopressin, both of which are involved in the connection of connecting, closeness, and feeling bonded to someone. So you have this physical connection with someone that you become reliant on because it feels so good. So when they withdraw it, you actually literally go through physical withdrawals. You ever had that funny itch when you want to look at your phone, you're looking to see if somebody liked one of the posts that you put up on a social media platform? That's a little bit of dopamine that you get every time you do that. And when you go through long periods without it, you have this itch that you want to look again. The same kind of process happens in these relationships in which you feel connected, bonded, addicted to this individual. So how do you break it? Say that you've gone through this period of realization that this is a highly toxic relationship and you want out. Unfortunately, there's no easy way. It takes you consciously withdrawing and creating a separation between you and the other person. You have to literally wean yourself off of this person by going cold turkey. It's very hard. You're going to have a feeling that you want to check in with them, but it's very important that you resist, because every time that you check and you see what this person's doing, you're going to do it again. It reinforces the connection, and you're more likely to stay in touch. So that's why no contact is so important. It actually gives your body a chance to rest. It gives you a break from the constant state of fear and excitation, so that you can be able to safely withdraw and regain a sense of yourself, regain trust in yourself. I also recommend that you journal. One of the things that happens in toxic relationships is a lot of deception, including gaslighting and various forms of invalidation and manipulation. You often may not know what is actually real or not real. By writing down the events, even dialogue of word for word of what is said, you'll begin to break the deception and see more clearly what exactly is happening. I hope these tips are helpful as you attempt to break a trauma bond. I remember doing it for myself, and it was sheer gutting it out. It was definitely like going cold turkey, very hard work. That's why it's so important that you stay connected with other people who understand what you're going through. Are you involved in a support group? Have you found that kind of connection with other people who are in a similar position as yourself? If not, be sure to leave a comment below or private message me. I'd be happy to point you in the direction of help. What else would you like to know about trauma bonds or anything related to narcissistic abuse? Please let me know that as well. And I'm so thrilled that you're here. Make sure that you like and subscribe so that you don't miss future videos on this channel. And come back next week for another discussion of something related to abuse, narcissistic abuse, or healthy relationships.